If you play open chords on the guitar, do you want those chords to sound clean? Sure, we all do. Now, some of the chords we play don't involve all 6 of the strings, and that's okay. However, if we let all the strings ring on these chords, even the strings we don't need, our chords can start to sound muddy. Let's take a look at 3 color chords in the key of G major and how we can make them sound extra clean by using the handy process of string muting. Let's start with a version of the 1 chord, a G5 no third. This is a strong open chord that literally only consists of the notes G and D over and over. I fret this with my 2nd finger on the low G on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. Then I add my 3rd finger on the same fret of the 2nd string for a high D. One more note, the high G on the 3rd fret of the 1st string with my 4th finger. The special trick I want to make sure you observe is that I'm using my 2nd finger to mute the 5th string so that I don't have an A sounding in this chord. So the notes are G, D, G, D, and G. Listen to how clean this sounds with that 5th string muted. Now, by contrast, listen to it with the 5th string ringing open. Yeah, not so much. So the key with this chord is to use our 2nd finger to mute the 5th string, and we'll have a nice, clean G5 chord with no 3rd. Let's try a version of the 4 chord in G, which many people like to call a C2. Literally, the only difference between this chord and the chord we just played is that I move my 2nd finger over to the 3rd fret of the 5th string for C. Now I'm going to omit the open 6th string, and I'll also mute the open 4th string for a better voicing. So I have the notes C, G, D, and G. Now comes the special trick. I'm again going to use my 2nd finger to mute an unneeded open 4th string D. But in addition to this, I'm going to wrap my thumb around to mute the unneeded open 6th string E. Just touching that string, not fretting it. Listen to the clean version of the C2 chord. Now listen to it with strings 6 and 4 ringing open. I think I prefer the clean version. Let's hear that one more time. Let's do one more color chord on the 5 chord with a version of 5 that I would call a D5 no third. This chord literally only has 3 notes. They are open 4th string D, my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string for A, and my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string for another D. The notes are simply D, A, and D. It's time for some special tricks. And this actually involves 3 fingers. First, I'll let my 3rd finger rest against the open 1st string to keep it quiet. Second, and this is pretty subtle, so you might not detect it on camera without me pointing it out, my 2nd finger is going to lightly touch the 5th string and maybe even the 6th string, but I'm not fretting at the 3rd fret. I'm just silencing 1 or 2 of these strings with the tip of my 2nd finger. And then, as before, I'm going to use my thumb to wrap around and also work to silence the open 6th string. So half of the strings will ring and half of them will be silenced. Here's D5 no third. If I let the unwanted strings ring, strings 6, 5, and 1, I get this muddiness. So I much prefer the cleaner version. Now, once I've gotten my fretting hand disciplined and trained to complete these tricks for each of these chords, I can just enjoy them in sequence. And my strumming hand is free to strum any or all of the strings. I can try to strum only the strings I need, but the added bonus is that if I do graze the silent strings, they sound percussive and they add to the palm muted feel that provides some artistry. Check it out. These three chords can be easily used in G major, as I said, but also in the A Dorian mode, the D Mixolydian mode, and the E Aeolian mode, which of course is E natural minor. This is just a glimpse of what's possible, but I feel like it puts us on the right track for much cleaner playing, don't you? And whether the people listening to us know it consciously or not, we are playing with greater skill and precision because only the notes we want to ring are sounding. If this has been helpful to you and you want to learn more tools to enhance your musicianship, consider joining us at Guitar Success for You. Having consistent exposure to accessible and relevant guitar concepts can really impact your playing, as our members will agree. I invite you to head on over to guitarsuccessforyou.com to learn more about this unique online experience. I hope to see you inside the membership. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.